Let's talk about why you should not learn to code. For about 10, 15 years now, there's been a shortage of developers in the software development industry. You see numbers that say, hey, software developer, this job is scheduled to rise, blah, 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 forever. And that is not true. What's happened recently is that the number of jobs for software developers has tanked along with some of the pay for those jobs. Now, they still do exist, but there's much more competition. I've got some experience in the bootcamp space, and I'm here to tell you why you should not learn to code. All right, so first things first, what is the job of a software developer, specifically an entry-level, aka junior software developer? Well, you just edit code. You don't really do too much else, but you are part of a team. Now, here's the thing. If you're part of a team, what do you need to be able to do? You need to be able to collaborate. You need to be able to figure stuff out on your own. You need to be able to take direction. And you need to be able to eventually, if you want to progress in your field, to present information to other people. One of the quick ways that people get into the software development space is through coding boot camps. Coding boot camps, I've got tons of experience in that space. And traditionally what happens is you go pay $10,000, $15,000 to a software development coding boot camp. They're going to spend about 12 to 15 weeks with you, sometimes longer if it's part-time. And through that process, they're going to teach you just enough skills so you've got this much knowledge and hopefully be able to place you in a job in industry. That was great back when there were tons of jobs and not enough software developers, and there were fewer tools that could make the job of a software developer easier. What's happened recently is those jobs are disappearing. Those boot camps can't fill those positions now, or those open positions aren't there for graduates, and you have people graduating $15,000 in debt and not able to find a job. Now, that's much, much better than what people are experiencing in college, right? Those people spending $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $100,000 on a 4-year degree in computer science, that's great. But most of those people don't actually know how to do things. So where are we at right now, and what should you be doing, and why should you not learn to code? Specifically because most of what good software developers do is not actually code. Long story short, we go back and solve the problem on paper first through the design process. Anybody that knows the design process knows that it is a lot of communication, collaboration, testing, and all of these things come together to figure out what you're going to build and how you're going to build it before you even build it. There's foundational skills too that get missed in the traditional spaces of boot camps, and I'm calling boot camps traditional, and academia, and that is the actual tools that you're going to use to build software. Version control gets missed, right? The tools that you use for planning get missed. How you actually structure and organize a project get missed because a boot camp is going way too fast for you to actually let anything really soak in. And academia is going way too deep with a whole bunch of stuff that you don't really need to know. So what should you do instead? Well, of course you want to learn what you can do with code. You need to learn how developers do things with code, with conditionals, if statements, using variables, all the calculations, how databases work specifically. Data is super, super important in the world today. And now what we want to be able to do is take that step back and understand how these things are designed and communicated and collaborated upon, because the tools that you see now from ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, and other no-code solutions that you really don't actually need to know how to code in order to make things happen. Now, of course, eventually you're going to have to learn how to code. You'll have to learn how to read code and write code as part of building anything, but you don't have to start from scratch like a lot of these boot camps do. If you were to start first with the design of software and the design of applications that we interface with as humans each and every day and start thinking about those, you're going to have a better understanding of how these things come together. And then as you think about how you might improve some existing things, you will then go ahead and inevitably start getting into learning the code, and that code is going to be a means to an end. But if the majority of things that software developers do is think about and plan around their code, then shouldn't that be where you start? And if that's where you want to start, that's where I can come in. I've got a background in design thinking. I've got a background in instruction. I'm going to put a whole bunch of tools together here, whole bunch of videos together. So give it a subscribe. Check it out. We're going to talk about design thinking. We're going to dissect existing programs. We're going to lead into a whole bunch of game stuff because I love games. And I bet that when you start as a designer first, you will be a better developer later in life. That's exactly what it's about. It's not just about getting that first job right. It's about building towards a long career in software development, and your ability to design, think, collaborate, and communicate are all going to make sure that you are set up for success no matter what industry you decide to go into. So thanks for taking a listen, and I hope to see more of you soon. Give it a ring, give it a tingle, whatever it is you do with that subscribe button, and let's make it happen.